Just watch. To start from nothing and reach the heights of glory in the film industry is a feat in itself. The inspirational story of Dolph Lundgren, the prolific action hero, is nothing short of a miracle that shows the rewards of hard work and persistence. Although he had intense martial arts training, he started his career as a bodyguard to Jamaican singer Grace Jones. This Swedish-born actor then moved to the United States and worked as a model and bouncer at a nightclub. His big break came when he was offered a role in the famous Rocky franchise, and his debut movie Rocky IV ensured that he was here to stay. What followed was a flurry of offers and some smashing hits as the underdog announced himself as the new age star of action cinema. Since then, he has delivered countless classics and mesmerized the audiences with his acting prowess and martial arts skills. In this video, we have compiled some of his finest movies that will be a delightful watch for the action fans.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
For its success. Despite the budgetary restraints, the director, Gary Goddard, does honors. Other actors such as Courtney Cox and Frank Langella as the evil Skeletor played their parts well. It might be somewhat cheesy, but He-Man promises some crazy entertainment that action fans will love. The Punisher, 1989. Frank Castle is an honest cop who is determined to put an end to the mafia's influence in town. When the mob hits back with a car explosion that kills his entire family, it's time for some ruthless vengeance. The mafia presumes him to be dead, but Frank takes to the underground sewers and delivers his brand of vigilante justice, taking down those responsible for his family's murder. From common cop, he becomes the deadly assassin, the Punisher. The story is based upon a thread of Marvel Comics, and it remains faithful to the comic book version. The tone is kept dark purposely to portray the agonizing pain of the character of Frank and the incidents that made him so brutal. Dolph Lundgren is just the ideal man to play the role, and even his looks sync with that of the character description in the comics. His black hair, square jaw, and maintained stubble just made him seem like the unquestioned Punisher, who would give hell to his enemies. The body count keeps increasing as one after another the baddies are murdered. The scenes where Frank rides around in his motorcycle chopper are iconic, and the makers cleverly use the motorcycle cam for the footage. Get the uncut version if you're planning to watch this, as the US VHS version has chopped off some violent bits. It's not for those who don't have a stomach for intense action, as some scenes, such as the one where Punisher is being tortured, are pretty graphic. If you watch this movie, you are sure to appreciate the hard work that Dolph Lundgren put in to play this challenging role. Universal Soldier Series, 1992. The idea of super soldiers has often been nurtured by filmmakers, and the Universal Soldier series has been a successful franchise carrying forward the concept. The first movie released in 1992 and told the story of two US soldiers, Luke and Andrew, who kill each other during their stint in Vietnam when Luke interferes with Andrew's slaughtering of a village. Their bodies are frozen, and scientists in a top-secret facility turn them into unisouls, or a form of super soldiers. Luke, however, keeps getting flashbacks of his past life, and when a journalist gets a whiff of their secret past, he protects her by turning against his own kind. You're probably going to watch this for the adrenaline rush from watching non-stop combat, and you won't be disappointed. The makers play the masterstroke by casting two action legends, Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren, as the pivotal characters Luke and Andrew. Their final battle scene is epic to say the least, as Van Damme stuns the audience with his spinning kicks. Dolph Lundgren takes up the antagonistic role like a pro and is as badass as ever. He reprises his role for the movie Universal Soldier: Day of Reckoning, but this is the better version. Let us admit that the story isn't much complicated, and it is these action scenes that form the lifeline of this movie. It is an action classic that you ought to check out, and it marks the beginning of a popular franchise. Red Scorpion, 1988. A Russian Special Forces soldier is sent on a mission where he's supposed to assassinate the leader of a rebel group in Africa. He fails on the mission and is captured by the anti-communist leader, but instead of being sent to death, he is forced to undergo the shamanic initiation ritual. The soldier soon starts to realize how the local people are being oppressed by the Russian forces and their Cuban allies. He then switches sides and starts helping the rebel cause. There is something about Dolph Lundgren that makes him look very Russian for Western audiences. He had previously worked in Cold War epics like Rocky IV, and in this movie, he brings in his trademark performance as he shoots and explodes through the Russian forces. Attention to detail is paramount as the makers use real Russian T-34 tanks to shoot the final battle sequence. Besides the numerous gun battles and action sequences, you also have some intense moments, such as when Dolph's character is being tortured and needles are stuck through his anatomy. The interesting relationship that forms between the soldier and the leader of the rebels is also amusing to watch. The filmmakers actually roped in the leader of a real Busman tribe to play the role. The director, Joseph Zito, makes a great attempt by combining the old-school action and war style with an element of politics and intelligence that is surely going to be worth your time.
Problem at all.
Showdown in Little Tokyo, 1991. Two LA cops, Chris and Murata, have opposing views on how to uphold law and order, but they are teamed together to bring down the notorious Yakuza gang that has established a drug ring in Los Angeles, disguised as a brewery. The two cops must get along and put their best foot forward to take down the powerful Yakuza leader. They must also protect the witness who can testify against him in court. But things are not as simple as they seem. Who doesn't love an entertaining buddy cop movie? Showdown in Little Tokyo might be a cheesy 80s classic, but it packs enough punch to hold you still for the entire duration. Dolph Lundgren takes over the protagonist's role while his sidekick is played by the talented Brandon Lee. They have great chemistry between them, and it's fun to watch them take down criminals by the dozens. If you complain that the plot is a tad predictable, you're looking at it all wrong. They never intended to make this an Oscar-worthy classic, and it's purely for entertainment purposes. It does entertain with all the incredible stunts and sword fights that will set your heart racing. It probably falls in the category of movies that are so bad that it's good, but even then, it's worth a shot.
Rocky Balboa is in serious trouble.
Rocky IV, 1985. Rocky is now the proud holder of the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship and trains his friend Apollo Creed for a fight. The opponent, however, is a mighty Russian boxer, Ivan Drago, who proves to be too strong for Apollo. In the course of the fight, Apollo is killed, and Rocky blames himself for the death. To redeem himself, Rocky will now take on the powerful Drago and takes the help of Apollo's manager to travel to Russia for the fight. Although Dolph Lundgren made his debut with the movie A View to Kill, it's Rocky IV in the same year that gave him his stardom. He was trained by none other than the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger for the role, and he was menacing as ever as the ruthless Russian fighter. Rocky IV promises to be an exhilarating journey and is hailed as one of the finest action flicks from the 80s. The fight scenes are out of this world, and Sylvester Stallone himself choreographed the final boxing scene with Dolph Lundgren. Such was the intensity of some of the fight sequences that Stallone had his ribcage fractured during the filming that even injured his heart. Besides the breathtaking action, the soundtrack for this movie is top-notch, and added to the adrenaline-fueling setup. This is one of those movies that will pump you up and leave you inspired. Dark Angel, a.k.a. I Come in Peace, 1990. Jack is a determined and hardened cop who plans to stop the drug trade in the city. When his partner gets killed during an undercover operation, FBI agent Lawrence Smith is assigned to work alongside him. As the duo investigates the drug problem and some mysterious deaths, they uncover something unexpected. It turns out that an alien force is gathering stocks of a rare drug that is only found in the brain. Jack might be a pro at handling criminals, but can he do so when the criminals are aliens? Who wouldn't love it if they were served an entertaining violent sci-fi movie with the hardy Dolph Lundgren playing the protagonist? The movie is cheesy with some badass one-liners, but is fun to watch courtesy of the plentiful action. The director, Craig R. Baxley, has worked previously as a stunt coordinator, and his skills show during the fight scenes. From people being impaled to exploding bodies to throats being slit by flying CDs, the movie is a never-ending action sequence. The concept is unique as well, where you see the villain arriving on Earth to create drugs from humans, and a heroic cop standing up to him. There's also a humane side to Jack's character, where he's trying to mend his relationship with his girlfriend. He also has interesting chemistry with the FBI agent, and in the middle of all the gunfights and explosions, you do have funny moments. If you are a Dolph Lundgren fan, you wouldn't want to miss this amazing film at any cost. Sweepers, 1998. The movie is set in a war-ravaged Angola, where Christian conducts minesweeping operations. During one such mission, his 11-year-old is killed by a landmine, and he drowns himself in sorrow. A terrorist attack in the US traces an advanced A6 landmine smuggled from Angola, and another bomb expert, Michelle, seeks out Christian's help in the mission to trace the roots of the mine. They discover a devious plot to ship lots of these mines to the United States to cause great devastation. Together, they battle the thugs in a deadly and explosive showdown, only to realize that the real villain is someone they never suspected. Sweepers is a typical B movie with lots of cheesy moments and unbelievable action. In fact, the entire second half is like a long sequence of action scenes where Christian battles people in houses, speeding trains, and pretty much everywhere. It's believed that Dolph Lundgren wasn't too happy about the unreal element in the action scenes, and attributed it to the inexperience of the director. There are indeed some outrageous scenes, such as when Christian brings down a helicopter by using a flare pistol. But even with such implausible action sequences, the movie is a great entertainer. The character played by Dolph resembles Indiana Jones, and even wears the same kind of clothes, including the hat. Yes, this isn't any classic, but it was never meant to be anything other than a guilty pleasure after a tiring day. Joshua Tree, 1993. Anthony Santee is a former race car driver who was wrongfully framed for the murder of a cop and jailed. He escapes prison to get his revenge from the corrupt cops who had set him up. He steals a car and abducts the owner without knowing that she is the deputy sheriff. As the police launch a massive manhunt, Anthony must evade the cops while getting his revenge and clearing his name at the same time. The US VHS version of this movie was titled Army of One, to avoid confusion with a music video by the same name. This story is more like a long-drawn chase sequence punctuated by some ruthless fighting. While Dolph Lundgren is phenomenal as Anthony, he has an able supporting cast, consisting of George Segal and Christian Alfonso. With so many jaw-dropping stunts, it's difficult to pick out the best one, but we would go for the mind-blowing warehouse shootout that is brilliantly staged. The speeding cars zooming through the deserts into the city is quite a spectacular sight as well. The body count is high, and in the very first major shootout, Anthony kills about 30 baddies. As long as the lack of a deep story doesn't bother you, you'll find Joshua Tree to be an exciting film with the brilliance of Dolph Lundgren for added effect. Skin Trade 2015. An NYC detective, Nick, is looking into a Russian mob responsible for human trafficking, and during one of his missions, he manages to kill the son of a Serbian gangster. In retaliation, they kill his family. And determined to get his revenge, Nick traces the gang to Southeast Asia. He joins forces with a Thai detective, and together they devise a plan to wipe out the entire organization. Can they end the skin trade once and for all? Action movie enthusiasts have a mouth-watering prospect at hand where Dolph Lundgren teams up with Tony Jaa, the man who is regarded as one of the most realistic and brutal martial artists. Ron Perlman, the actor in Hellboy, is also in this film, and he plays the Serbian gangster with his unique accent. As if these weren't enough, Skin Trade also casts the well-known B-movie star Michael Jai White in a pivotal role. As expected, these veterans come together and pack a powerful punch, especially in the action sequences that are just perfect. The climactic fight will make you shudder in your seats. It's not easy to pull off a movie with too many cliches, but they managed to ace the challenge. The beautiful locations in Thailand give the movie a visual appeal. This film does come with a social message, but it doesn't try too hard to sound preachy. If you're a fan of the 80s action flicks, Skin Trade will be a wonderful experience for you.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.